Senior Minister Goh Chok Tong, together with other MPs from Marine Parade GRC, had a dialogue session with grassroots leaders at the Kampong Ubi Community Centre on Sunday. At the session, SM Goh spoke on his 5-year plan to turn Marine Parade GRC into a 4G constituency: great, gracious, generous and green. Also at the event, SM Goh introduced his understudy, Brigadier General Tan Chuan Jin, who is widely speculated to be a new PAP candidate in the Marine Parade GRC.
Today, we do not announce any candidate whatsoever because until the candidate is formally announced by the PAP, there is no candidate. But I can introduce you to BG Tan, who is understudying me. So maybe he can come forward.
Brigadier General Tan Chuan Jin retired from the SAF on 31st March this year after serving in the army for 24 years. One of the defining moments of his time in Green was when he led the Humanitarian Assistance Support Group to provide emergency relief to Melabu, Aceh after the 2004 tsunami. At the dialogue, the 42-year-old BG Tan spoke on the lessons he learned from the experience.
No matter who we are, I think Singaporeans are special breed. I think sometimes we are very critical. Always complain about a lot of things, about ourselves. But I think it's a little red dot. And you remember who called us a little red dot? And yet we reach out to be able to make a tremendous difference. It's a small nation, but a big, big heart. And I think that shows to me the spirit that we are capable of. I know that we live in a society where we are chasing after grades, bigger houses, nicer cars. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think we must not lose the spirit. So the challenge for us is, I've seen, sometimes in the midst of chaos and confusion, you take a look into the heart and soul of your nation and you can see what we are capable of.
BG Tan's introduction with the Marine Parade GRC team comes one day after the introduction of ex-Chief of Army Major General Chan Chun Sing, who is set to contest in Buona Vista.
We didn't pick people from the army especially. Unfortunately, we are not able to get people from the private sector. We have been trying very hard. And that's something which we would admit. We have not been very good in getting. Ideally, you must have 1 or 2 people from the private sector in the 40s. Then you have the diversity. But you'll find that people in the private sector in the 40s, they don't want to come in. Because they are number 2, they can become number 1. And it's much more freedom. There's no slamming or flaming by the Facebook or by the netizens and so on. Life is comfortable for them. So very few want to come in.
Brigadier General Tan Chuan Jin is currently understudying SM Goh and followed SM and other MPs of Marine Parade GRC on a walkabout at the Geylang Serai market. So what has he learned from SM so far?
It's only the start. I've only just retired from the army on 31st March. I've had a couple of conversations with him. I think SM has a wealth of experience and the people loved him deeply. I think a lot of it is to learn how he talks to the people, how he engages them. And I think at a macro level also his ideas and perspectives about how Singapore will continue to evolve. So there is a lot to learn from SM, and I think there's a lot to learn also from the incumbent, Dr. Faisal and Dr. Ong, and in fact from the grassroots leaders themselves and the people. Because I think the suggestions and ideas really comes from across the board. And I guess the key thing for me is really how best do we engage with our people to listen, and how best to learn, and then how best to, in representing them, make the best possible decisions on the way forward.
In the next clip, SM Goh gives his views on the Tin Pei Ling saga.